I've loved this whole Fantastic Four point of origin story. Dan Slott stuck the landing. Terrific job by this man. It's gonna begin with a Wyatt Wingfoot story. 1, 2, 3, 4 pages, and he's gonna call for 4. Then we get to the story. It's gonna be a showdown between Reed and the Overseer. They're gonna both give their reasons right before they start punching each other of why things ended the way that things ended. I'm gonna have to side with Reed. They did a good job, a very good job in this comic to illustrate how similar they are, even with the panel layouts, with the 4 ones down here and then the 4 panels down here on this side. Both of them are arguing their points. I'll read from the book. He says that I had disfigured my best friend, that it was because of me, those damn cosmic rays, that my wife almost died in childbirth twice. Okay. I didn't think after reading this side of the comic book that they could win me over with this side of the comic book. And the Overseer got close. He's saying we were perfectly fine and dandy till you invaders came. I'm going to make parallels, since we had Native Americans in the beginning of the story, to Christopher Columbus. Let's just say the Europeans coming over to this side. I live in North America, to live on this side of the world. They were not wrong for coming, for discovering this land. The genocide, completely wrong. But I can't use 2020 standards in something that happened years ago. Now, it's pretty much, with the exception of maybe of Israel and Palestine, who are fighting each other right now, I think everyone knows whose land is whose. I think the North Pole is in question too, everything north. That's fine. Everyone's in question of whose land is who. So for another country to go to country B and say, hey, we're here, but we're just here to talk, that wouldn't fly. Country A would be wrong. But this is space. This is the universe. Visiting planets, I think, should be okay. It should always be fine for a spaceship to drop on Earth. Even in the real world, let's just pretend, like, tomorrow, aliens visit us. We shouldn't go and attack. Yeah, we should be cautious, like, what are you guys about? Like, can we communicate? Do you speak? Do we communicate cyclically? Will we write down things and pass them to each other? Can we let them know, please leave? Or, communication is key. So I think that I'm going to side with Reed Richards over here. We just came for the sake of science. We didn't know what you guys were like. If you would have said, no, we don't want to communicate with you guys, leave our planet, they probably would have. You can't just do what you did to them and hit them with these cosmic rays and try to ruin their lives. Reed Richards is right. But if you watch Naruto, you know how Naruto will fight the villain and then he'll end up being friends with him, and all of a sudden Itachi and Nagato and the whole damn Akatsuki are Team Naruto. They all get like sympathetic stories at the end of it. Orochimaru came through at the end. This kind of happens here. So now that they are friends, there's a moment where they said, well, we got this kind of cure thing that sort of works for one day out of the year. And they called out the Thing for his hypocrisy. And Thing had to be like, you're right. I ain't proud of it, but you're right. Because he was saying about how you got to be proud of who you are, what you look like in last month's comic book. Good to call him out on it. The next part here makes me think of the X-Men. Because we've got this group of people who are not willing to accept these foreigners or these outsiders or these different people. And Sue Storm and Reed Richards say the right thing in this moment. Great. Keep that same energy when it comes to these mutants, right? Okay. I don't think Dan Slott and Chip Zdarsky were coordinated on it, but it makes for an interesting talking point. We get our favorite Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur here on Yancey Street. That's what's been happening. Sky is going to leave Spire and join with the Fantastic Four. That would have been a great twist if I didn't happen to read the previews and see that Sky would be featured in the comic books to come. Unfortunately, she is. I like the character of Sky, though. She's really cool. All of the... what's the group called? They're not the Justice League. The Sidearm. The Unparalleled. I kind of like the Unparalleled. It's great that we're creating new things. So good on him. that's the book for the most part. You know, there's a little joke that Sky is going to make. And did she mean it? No, she was completely joking. I believe she was 100% completely joking. And that there's nothing to read into that joke about, you know, you guys being trusting and whatnot. She said, you weren't even trying with my world. I wonder, how easy would it be to break yours? No, she was kidding. Yeah, that's it. We're gonna continue a story over here with Wyatt Wingfoot and whatever the heck has been going on there. That's next. So if you haven't been reading this comic book, I don't know why you'd be watching my spoiler review, but I'd recommend picking up the trade for Point of Origin. And man, I could see this being depicted in the movies coming out. Of course, they don't actually adapt things that happened so recently. They'll wait a few years and sit on it before they turn them into movies. But I'm high on this story, and I'm high on what Dan Slott has been doing. He hasn't been doing it for me in Iron Man 2020, but he's been doing it for me here. We got to recognize the good stuff and give it credit when it's really good. Chill Manga is the name. Comic Book University is my podcast with Comic Book University and with Blurred Without Fear. That's it on this side of the screen. Go watch all 2 hours of it because we cover movies and comics.